I guess I might as well take the opportunity to thank JoJo for having me come up, but more importantly, you will hopefully be thanking her at some point in time for having her expose you to this Kangen water. This is literally the best water on the face of the earth. The effects that it's had on people's health has been amazing. But what I want to do real quickly, before I get into the presentation, is address Rose's water. Belmont Springs, is that what it was? Okay.
No, it's Somerville.
I'm sorry, Somerville water. Somerville water, I believe, has chlorine and ammonia in it, which is chloramine. But what I put in, these drops are reagent. It will show if there's chlorine in the water or not. And just so you can see the color, you've got some chlorine in your water. When you shower, you're taking more chlorine through your skin than you would in 8 glasses of water, 8-ounce glasses. Potential hydrogen is what it means. And the higher the pH, every time you go up, when you go up from a 8.5 to 9.0, it's times 10, 8.5 to the 9.5. We've got 1,000 times more pH in the 9.5 than the 8.5. Now this chart shows pH levels from acidic to alkaline. This water here is just over neutral, just barely over neutral. Government regulations are that the water coming out of your tap has to be at least 7.0 or greater. Down in St. Louis, some of the waters are running 9.5 to 10.5, extremely strong, off the chart. But they're chemically induced either with lime or lye or other minerals or things are added to the water to bring up the pH. We can take water from a well, which is probably around a 7. Well water generally will come out around a 7. We can run well water through our unit and bring it up to an 11.5 pH. Or 9.5 without adding anything whatsoever to the water when the electrolysis process brings up a higher pH level. So the good news is this didn't turn yellow, but I can assure you that if they didn't treat it, it probably would be a little acidic. The other property of the water is that it's not microclustered. And I'll show you that with the water here because this is, again, Somerville water. So I'm going to dump these out. So we know we have chlorine and we've got a very low pH, just about neutral there. So this is the Somerville water through our machine, no chlorine. We pull heavy metals and some lead and a little bit of fluoride, but this is not a filter. It's an ionizer, a continuous ionizer and alkalizer. Fruit 2.0. Do you drink this? Okay. Actually, I'd really like to... I'm not going to test it for chlorine. I'm going to test it for the pH. My guess is it's going to be yellow.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
You don't think there's any chlorine?
It's extremely acidic. I know that. No, there's no chlorine in that. This is the last thing you want to be drinking.
Okay.
This is not good. This is very, very bad. Okay. And I'm not here to pick on anyone's water.
Back in 2002, I was a dead woman. I've had suicidal depression, severe osteoarthritis, a prime candidate for 2 complete knee replacements, breast cancer, and a thyroid condition, and overweight, maybe 45 pounds overweight. I started studying alkalinity, and it changed my life. I'm an alkaline health coach, and I reversed my different diagnoses, doing alternatives. I teach people alkalinity. I know how challenging it is for someone to be alkaline, and I know how challenging it is for me to maintain my health. I am so pleased that Jim came into my life because his friend saw an article, saw from the Sandwich Community School that I was teaching a course on the body knows best, acid alkaline balance. And Jim gave me a call and came into my life. I'll be forever, ever grateful. Jim gave me a call on Friday night for Friday afternoon, okay, I saw a very simple demonstration by his partner because he was out in Chicago on Tuesday. I came home and I took my organic tomatoes. That was a product of US, not Mexico. I put it in the 11.5 water that his friend gave me a sample of. And I was shocked at the amount of pesticides that came off because of the change in the color of the water. And I showed my husband. And the next morning he got up and he says, I figured out how we're going to get this unit. Please call up Jim. And I says, I know I'm going to make his day. So I called up. This water is my health insurance policy. It is the most important health ingredient that I put into my body. It is the most super health ingredient. I wouldn't be able to get the food and the nutrients to penetrate deeper into my body without this water. I wouldn't be able to repair the tissues in my shoulder. I went to see 2 orthopedic surgeons because of my shoulder. If I went like this, I'd go, oh, look at this. Okay, I go on my rebounder and I go like this. Okay, I have taken walks down around our beach. If I take one walk once a week or in 10 days, it takes me all that time to recuperate. I could take 4 walks, which is 2 miles, in 6 days all around my beach. So this is what I've experienced. My husband has experienced phenomenal. He's 17 years older than I, and his cardiovascular doctor told him that he didn't have to come back for at least another 6 months, and he was going there for every 3 months for the past 5 years. So she's amazed with what has happened. See, the body's been created to be alkaline. It's been created. So everything around us is acid. Our food is acid, our cell phones, our TV, the news, everything driving a car. So this is the most important thing we can put in our bodies.
Thank you, Dorothy. I had no idea. It was just by chance that Dawn was going to throw an article away, and she looked at it and went through, and I Googled Dorothy and found her story, and she mentioned something, and I wanted to share this with you. I meant to do this earlier. Dr. Otto Heinrich Warburg, I don't know if any of you ever heard of him, but in 1931 won the Nobel Prize for Medicine. He proved in 1931 that cancer will not exist in an alkaline environment. There's a huge industry out there treating people with cancer, with every treatment down the highway. We have had folks, and again, the water cures nothing, but we have had folks that have gone back to the doctor that are being treated in stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 cancer, and the doctor does not know what's going on. And if I may just read, and you can look him up, Dr. Otto Heinrich Warburg, The Root Cause of Cancer. And he does mention here that the blood's pH of 7.365, which really needs to be there. Cancerous tissues are acidic, whereas healthy tissues are alkaline. Water splits into H plus or H positive and OH negative ions. If there's an excess of H positive, it is acidic. If there's an excess of OH negative ions, then it is alkaline. And if you deprive a cell of 35% of its oxygen for 48 hours or more, it may become cancerous. Now, I'm sure that there are still people that could be alkaline that could have a situation, but we know that if you keep your body more alkaline than acidic, which is a challenge, certainly more so when you're eating raw foods to do that, I'd have to be at the table all day. This is the challenge. But when Dorothy found there was a method already there and proven to bring up the pH in the body simply by drinking water, good water, we have a much better chance of being healthier and being happier and just living a more complete life.